Fuck, bro.
Yeah, I've been for a lot,
We're
man.
back, man. We've fucking
Yeah,
been
yeah,
through a lot. There's
yeah.
a lot of battle scars, bro.
There
People
are.
don't realize
Yeah.
this is the second version. We just had a workout at the Dragon's Lair, second workout, great session. One thing I've known Si for a while now, but last
I
couple
think
of
it was
days,
2000 and I'm trying to think when we first met. I think it was about
four-
2000. No, it wasn't that. I think it was 2010. We were Santa Monica. You went
That's
to
right,
buy some
bro.
watches in LA.
Fuck,
Yeah. Chris Bailey was with us as well.
it's 14 years ago.
14 years ago, yeah.
Fuck, time flies. But bro, talking to you today and um, over the last couple of days, but even 2 years ago, bro. It's 2 years ago since we went out.
2 years ago,
Diplo,
yes.
bro. Remember that?
Exactly. Yes, Diplo, yeah.
Excess.
We went to the Rob Bailey
Yeah,
private party.
that's right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck,
Did you
we were
forget about
drinking
that?
hard there, bro. What do you
That was a good
mean?
night. I always think that was last year for some reason, but it was 2 years ago.
And the reason I want to get you back on for part two, we were having dinner last night, and you've been in the industry longer than I've been in the industry. You've been around some of the biggest names, going back to Dorian Yates, Bertel Fox, some of the household names that have been a massive part of our industry. I can remember Bertel Fox in the 83 or 84 Olympia when he was doing the most muscular.
Yeah, 83 Olympic.
Yeah, he was doing that most muscular, and the crowd was just going off. And I remember the most muscular. I remember his chest, like a war chest.
A lot of people say he was robbed that year. I mean, Samir Benoot won that year, who also a bodybuilder I've trained with. Samir's a good friend of mine, but Bertel Fox, he did look very good that year, didn't he? Yeah. Upper body wise, traps, pecs, arms.
Man.
It's just different.
Sad end to his life, but unbelievable.
Yeah, he's come out of prison.
Has he?
Yeah, he came out last year.
Wow, that's good, man.
Yeah, it's funny. Another funny story because there's a guy called Brian Muss who used to own Better Bodies, this company I'm wearing now. So he used to do a photo shoot. He did a photo shoot with Bertel Fox.
Man. Yeah.
Photo shoot with Bertel Fox, Gary Stridham, Erica Mess, Juliet Bergman. And there's an iconic shot in New York with all of them together. And I was actually with Brian Moss 2 years ago. We were in Texas, and it came out on the social media that Bertel Fox had come out of prison after like 25 years. I said, Brian, you can never guess who's just come out of prison. He goes, who? I said, Bertel Fox. He goes, no way. After like 25, 30 years, whatever.
Far out.
Incredible.
25 years. I remember because his son, I sent a story somewhere, and people wanted to interview Bertel Fox, but his son was sort of like the one that they had to go through to get to him.
Bertel Fox is on a Facebook page. I don't think it's him controlling it because I think it must be another family member. But I put an Instagram post, which obviously led to my Facebook, on me. It was a picture of Bertel Fox doing. It was basically one of the first seminars I ever went to in Birmingham, and I took some like Polaroid pictures back in the day. This was 1988. Of Bertel Fox posing. It was a picture of me and Bertel, and I wrote like a little story about how Bertel was one of the first bodybuilders I'd ever seen in live. I was a 16-year-old kid, and behind me was Dorian Yates, and just such an iconic moment for me. And
what did he say? Because you said it off camera before. What did Bertel say about Dorian?
well, somebody in the audience had asked Bertel Fox, what do you think to this new guy on the scene, Dorian Yates? And Bertel Fox goes, Dorian who? He goes, never heard of him. But, why would he have? Because there was no internet back then.
Yeah.
The only source of information was magazines, wasn't it? So, and the magazines were always behind.
Yeah, 100%. And last night we were at the Cheesecake Factory and we were talking, and I remember during COVID, because I want to talk about this story because I want to talk about the comeback and some of the things that you were saying, bro, blew my mind. So I remember during COVID, I get a call from Gary, and I'm talking to Gary. He goes, man, Si's not doing well at all. I go, what do you mean? And he goes, man, he's got COVID. He goes, he might not come out of this. He goes, he might not come out of it. And I remember at the time he told me that you lost something like 30 kilos.
35 kilos.
35 kilos. How many weeks was that? Within
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
And were you in an induced coma at the time?
Yes.
You were in an induced coma. I remember he was saying it to me. And I remember when you did come out of it, he goes, mate, he's on a walking stick. And he was saying, I don't know if he's going to come back to where he was. Can you talk us through what you were talking about, at dinner last night?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you from when the pandemic happened, it was March 2020. Obviously, everyone was talking about COVID, and I was like listening to it, but really not paying attention. I thought, oh, I'm not going to get COVID. I'm healthy and I'm training. I eat good. I've never been ill in my life, and but obviously it was more and more prevalent in the news. Then I remember I was doing some work at the gym, and I just felt I didn't feel right. I felt I was getting worse and worse, and I started to have a real bad fever, and I had to take literally a week off work, and I was sort of bedridden for a week. I lost my appetite, and I wasn't getting any better, and I was sweating, really struggling to breathe. And I remember it was a Thursday. So I told my doctor friend, I was feeling rough, and he was happening to work at the hospital, the local hospital for me. And he happened to text me in the morning, goes, "How are you feeling?" I said, "Not good. I'm struggling to breathe." He goes, "Look, come and see me at the hospital." So I got a taxi to the hospital, which was about 10 minutes from my house. I went to A&E. They did a scan of my lungs, and they did a SATs report where normally it's basically how much oxygen your lungs absorb, and the score should be about 98, 99. Mine was like below 80, and he says, "Look, you're in serious trouble." Because I said, "What can you do?" He goes, "You're not going home tonight. If you go home, you're gonna be dead." I said, "Fuck." Because what am I gonna do then? He said, "We're gonna have to put you on a ventilator." And I didn't really understand what being on a ventilator was. I thought this gonna give me a mask or something and I'll breathe. So I was waiting around for a couple of hours. I told my wife at home, I said, "Look, I'm just gonna pop to the hospital and get a checkup and I'll be back." Then they sat me down and said, "Look, we're gonna put you under for like minimum 2 weeks." I said, "What do you mean 2 weeks? We're gonna put you to sleep." And I started freaking out. I said, "What do you mean? Like, we're gonna have to put you in a coma?" I said, and he goes, "And you might not wake up from it."
The fuck?
Yeah, and it was my friend, so I'm being very honest with you. Yeah, goes, "There's 30% chance you're not going to get out of this, wake up from this." I said, "What are my options?" He goes, "Well, if you go home tonight, you're going to die." So I thought it was a lot to sort of process. So I rang my wife. I said, "Look, it's not good news. I'm not coming home." She goes, "When are you coming back?" I says, "I don't know. Are they going to put me to sleep?" And she didn't understand herself. Then and I was lying on the hospital bed, and all the doctors came around and said, "Look, put your phone away. We're going to put you under now." So I remember I was FaceTiming and I said, "Look, I've got to go. I'll speak to him whenever." And next thing I know, it was like 4 weeks had gone.
Wow.
They moved me to another hospital because all the hospitals were getting full. Because they were admitting everyone for COVID and inducing all the patients. I think everyone just started panicking. All the doctors started panicking, and I was in there for just under 4 weeks. I was 105 kilo when I went in, and I came out 70 kilo. Well, wake up 70 kilo after 4 weeks in a coma.
And when we're talking at dinner, this blows my mind, but when we're talking at dinner, you said you could hear everything they were saying while you were in the induced coma.
Yeah, so the doctors told me your sense of hearing is never lost. So everything else, obviously your sight, you smell, you don't get that, but you can still hear. And the doctors still tell me, because I'm friends with one of the doctors that sort of looked after me. He actually trains in my gym, and he said you were gone 3 times. We had to resuscitate you, and I could hear him trying to like bring me back to life. And I had so many complications. My blood pressure dropped right down. Had sepsis in all the tubes. Had an infection. Had pneumonia. You name it, I had it. And they said, "Look, he's not going to make it." And they were going to have to, the last resort, have to put like a tracheotomy so I could breathe through my throat, through the hole. But so it was like up and down. One day I was good, one day I was really bad. And so I know my friends, they set up a WhatsApp group. And so my wife had to sort of update all my friends, like, how I was doing, my progress and stuff like that. So I think Gary was in the WhatsApp group. So it was a hard time because the country was in lockdown, and
no one could visit you.
No one could visit me. No, I didn't have one visitor. And I remember like waking up after like 4 weeks, and the ward I was in, it was like something out of a film. There was like tape everywhere. It was like everyone was in masks.
Yeah.
They were like spraying the room every like 10 minutes.
Right.
It was just like, what the fuck's gone on here?
Yeah.
I didn't know what had gone on. I'd had because they drug you up to the eyeballs, and like I was having all these mad dreams, horrible, very violent dreams.
Yeah.
We still to the day I still remember, and it was a horrible experience. And obviously, when I did wake up, I lost all my muscle mass, lost my weight, even stuff like I couldn't even pick myself out of the bed. I was like that week I couldn't even do that. Yeah, so I was bedridden for like another 2 weeks. When I got up from my coma, woke up, and I remember like I couldn't even go to the toilet. I was having to be fed through a tube because I couldn't. My jaw had sort of locked, so I was being fed through a tube every day. Even things like going to the toilet, I couldn't do. So it was quite degrading having a nurse to sort of wipe your ass and stuff like that. Then they said, look, you're gonna have to start walking again, because imagine being in a bed for 6 weeks, your legs just freeze up, and I'd lost, and I've got big legs. They were like sticks, and so the first few days I had to sort of learn how to walk again because I'd lost all the strength. I couldn't even stand on my crutches. So that was another like challenge, so learning how to walk again, learning to breathe again, learning how to eat again. And then they put me back in the main ward because I was by myself. And like every night there was like people dying on my ward. They were like taking away dead bodies. It was looking back at that, it was like something out of a fucking horror film. Yeah.
Fuck. And the nightmares, when we were talking, you said that you can still see those visions still today. Like
people were trying to kill me, people trying to like shoot me, hiding from people. And I remember, it's not a funny story, but I remember dreaming that somebody has stolen my car. I had a BMW X5 and somebody had stolen my car in my dream. And I remember when I finally sort of woke up, I rang my missus. I said, look, babe, I need to get a new car. She goes, why? Because I've had my car stolen. And she goes, well, what are you talking about? Because I need to get a new car, yeah. And she goes, your car's on the drive. Yeah. Wow. I said, no, I've had the car stolen, and it's just weird stuff like that. And it
so everything
seems so real. Oh, yeah. 100%. And people do. And I'd not spoken to Dorian, talking about Dorian Yates, for like 10 years since we fell out. And I know his birthday is April the 19th. And I dreamt that sort of, I was talking to him like we were friends. So when I finally got up from my coma, I texted Dorian like after 10 years, says, oh, it was good to see you at your party. And which was like crazy because I don't know what I was dreaming about, but I think it was all subconscious, me thinking about it, because me not talking to for like 8 years, 9 years, it was always in the back of my mind, and sort of I needed sort of to think about it. So I texted Dorian because it was good to see you. And he must have been thinking, what the fuck? Why is Simon texting me after 10 years? Yeah. And he just played along with it because he knew I was in a coma. And he goes, yeah, it's good to see you too. And it just these weird things. Yeah.
So let's get on to that. So after not talking to Dorian for 10 years, when you sent that message, are you guys talking now?
Yeah, well, after he came to my gym, I think it was 2021. No, it was Christmas that year because he came to visit family. And sort of, we sort of shook hands and, moved on from it, yeah.
So it's kind of bittersweet too.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously talking to you before, I think Dorian was the hero of many, and to not have those 10 years where you weren't talking, when you look at the silver lining of what happened to you.
Yeah.
How did it change you then? Like, after this?
Massively.
Yeah.
I mean, before that, I stopped going to the Mr. Olympia, I stopped going to the Arnold Classic, and obviously I loved the gym. I sort of the gym was like my main focus, but I wasn't really taking care of myself. I was just training, and after that, I remember being in lockdown, and not much to do because I think everyone was in lockdown. So I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I was watching a guy called Ron Partlow from Mutant, and he was doing all these mad gym tours all around the world, traveling around the world, reviewing the best gyms. I thought, oh, fucking, what a cool thing to do, yeah. And I thought, and my missus goes, why don't you do that? He goes, I haven't got a camera. She goes, well, buy one. And I thought, nah, I hate being in front of the camera. I'm too shy. And she goes, look, what you got to lose, yeah. And so she brought a camera, and I brought a camera at the same time. She started like doing beauty, makeup, and stuff like that. And I thought, I'm just gonna start filming myself in the gym. it was locked down, so I thought no one's going to see me. And my first 10 minutes was shit. Like, it was embarrassing. Looking back at them now, you know, I've obviously come a long way.
Yeah.
And then I started, when we were allowed to travel, I started in a few local gyms in the UK, just going around, you know. So look, they knew who I was anyway. I said, would you mind if I do a gym tour? And I was reviewing, goes, yeah, we'd love you to. Then I did one, and then I did another. And when we were allowed to travel, I went to Dubai, and I did like Binos Gym, I did Oxygen Gym, I did all the gyms in Dubai. And I thought, I want to go to America. I want to do like Texas, I want to do Vegas, I want to do LA. And it just started from there, and you know, here we are now, like 3-4 years later, back in Vegas doing some new gyms.
I know, and not only that, like, you know, after COVID, I became much bigger through the content. And, you know, you talk about, you know, you were sick, the gym.
I found it gave me a bit of a new lease of life.
I think it has, because I remember Sai before COVID, and you were much more reserved.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, I was.
You were different, and like you said, it's
given me a lot of confidence.
Confidence, yeah, because it does take you being shit. Like, people ask about content, like, how did you get good? Well, first you got to suck.
Yeah, of course.
And you got to be consistent.
Yeah.
And you get better over time. That's what I love about you. You know, like, if I look at you, and I remember you before that, you were more reserved. You were shy, even though you were around guys like Gary, photographer, and all that. You know, we had access to all that. I think
I was always the guy in the background, and like, I would never ask questions. I was like, be too shy or too scared to ask.
Yeah.
But when you're in front of the camera, you have to sort of switch it on, And you know, it's definitely brought out a better me.
And it kind of makes you better for business too.
Definitely,
right?
100%.
Like, you look at your business different. Like, I always say to people, the best thing you can do is get in front of the camera, because it helps you expose your business. It helps you with everything. So, you know, when we look back at COVID now, for both of us, I think it was a pivotal point.
Absolutely.
It was a hugely pivotal point. And, you know, when I'm talking to you, like, there's so many similarities of a lot of the things we like. And, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, say before COVID, Dorian Yates being a hero, and he didn't talk for 10 years. Because I know I've had, you know, being in the fitness industry for as long as we have, you have problems with people. It just happens because we're in the business. You know what I mean? You got people that don't want to pay membership. People challenging you, right? So it changes the person you become. Do you think those 10 years, when you overcame that in your message, Dorian, who was, you know, one of your idols, do you think doing that and letting go of that has also helped you?
Yeah, because it was obviously, for me to message him and dream about him, it was obviously playing on my mind, and it was a bit of a closure for me, because I remember when we fell out, Dorian wasn't on doing the podcast at the time, so he started becoming quite well known he was doing a lot of podcasts, videos, interviews.
London Real.
London Real, and like, as much as I hated him for what he did to me, and I didn't want to see him, he kept on coming on my on YouTube. I kept on, I've got to see this guy again. I've got to see this guy again. It's like I couldn't escape him. And I actually said to him, you know, I hated you for like years, but every time I turned my phone on, you were there. You were there in my face.
Yeah, wow. But you need that closure, right?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, I bumped into him last year at the Kissing Me gym in Orlando, and like, you know, we shake hands. It's not the same, but you know, we're cool.
So, you know, we were just talking off camera again before, where, like, when you look at the fitness industry, there's not many people like us that own gyms that are going around.
Well, we've got the mileage, you know, before us, haven't we? So we've been there in the like 80s, 90s, 2000s. So we've seen the transition of gyms, the evolution of gyms, the beginning of social media, how it's progressed, how it's brought gyms. You know, it's we've seen it all, haven't we?
We've seen it all, and you know, sometimes I look back, I go, "Fuck, why didn't we start when it first came out?"
Exactly, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like you mean like content creation? You mean?
Yeah, 100%. Because think about it, like we actually had the experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But and now and probably, like, you know, giving credit to you, you're in your fucking 50s. You've reinvented yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, like, I'm getting to 50.
Yeah.
And
can I ask you a question? What did you think? Say, go back 10 years ago, when, like, just before social media really took off, Instagram, stuff like that, and you used to see people, because obviously you weren't doing content like you are now. And we used to see people in your gym filming, you know, on tripods, filming in the gym. What did you used to think of them?
I used to think this thing's bullshit. This is not gonna. This can't be a business. But you know what changed for me, and I think for both of us is I thought that when you own the business and you're the front man, you can now control more of your business. You can help your business so much more. But back then I used to think,
well, you are the face of the business, aren't you?
100%. But you also think, oh, this could be a detriment. You're questioning things. You're questioning yourself. You're questioning whether you're interesting enough. You're questioning whether, do you have the experience to actually say something to these people? But the reality is, and I've seen you in the gym, we've been in the game for a long time, you know, talking to you over the weekend, we've got just as much experience as anyone that's in the industry anywhere.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, being around the people we've been around, that doesn't come just easy. You gotta earn that. You gotta earn your stripes. And when I look back at it, and I think where we have similarities is we probably believed in ourselves, but not enough to take the next step.
Yeah, I mean, looking back, I wish I would have done it lot longer than before.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did it. I mean, better late than never, as they say. I mean, we used to have, I just think about all the opportunities I've missed where I first opened my Ultimate Fitness. And we used to have an expo called Body Power, which was a huge expo in Birmingham. And everyone used to come to my gym. Chris used to come to my gym. He used to bring Lynn Bailey, Branch Warren, Kai Grimm used to come, Ulysses, you name it, everyone came. And I didn't film any of it. It was like other people were filming, I thought these are all the opportunities I missed out on.
You know, funny you say that, because in the early days, like especially being at Coogee, like we used to have Ronnie Coleman come through our gym, Jay Cutler, Phil Heath, because the Sydney Fitness Expo was at Darling Harbour, which wasn't too far. And all these people used to come. So there used to be different film crews.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, of different companies. And Gary used to actually take a lot of the photos in there. I was thinking to myself, I could have interviewed all these people. All these people. And I think, you know, I was talking to you, Kenny, and I said, man, Sai wasn't this guy. Remember I was saying, he was the shy, the reserved guy. You know what I mean?
So I didn't have the confidence. I didn't have the confidence to do it, to talk to people.
I had more confidence in not being in front of the camera, but still, look, you know, it's what I like though. But now is not many people are doing it in their 50s.
No.
So that's the best part.
I mean, I don't really think about, you know, I'm in my 50s, I want to do it.
I'm doing it. Look 50, bro. Are you serious?
I do it because I enjoy doing it. And, you know, I do watch a lot of my videos back thinking, okay, I could have done that better. I'm quite analytical about how, you know, I could improve.
I can't even watch myself half the time.
I think, well, yeah, I like watching myself. I do it just to sort of see where I can
That's
improve.
good though.
Yeah.
That's good, because when you can be self-critical, what I do, I'm self-critical of every video. So I'm going to myself, I'll finish the podcast, I'll finish a video, and I'll go to Kenny, how was that? And what I'll try and do is, even if he doesn't say anything or anyone says anything, I'll go, I need to be better again. I need to be better again. I need to be better again.
You might think that, but no one else would.
Every day.
So I watch your videos and, like, you know, I love watching your stuff because, you know, you're very natural at it. You know, obviously your confidence has grown likewise.
I'll tell you something. I was talking to a guy, he was on Channel 9. It was a TV broadcast, and he was big on TV. He used to train at my gym. And I said to him one day, and I turned around to him and I said, what's the secret, man? He goes, you got different levels.
Yeah.
He goes, you got, you know, a tonality at this level, tonality at this level, tonality at a high level. And he goes, that's it. And the next part you've got to focus on is only talk about what you know.
Exactly.
He goes, if you talk about what you know, he goes, you've got no problem. But he goes, just understand that the tonality may need to change at each level.
Yeah.
He goes, as long as you do that, Matt, you'll be fine. And so then I was obviously practicing and all that kind of stuff. And people would, you know, kind of, you know, everyone would say, fuck, you're natural at it. But I wasn't.
It takes practice.
I wasn't that good at the start. Like I was okay, but I wasn't. And then you get a lot of people coming up to you going, man, fuck you, just good off the cuff, you're fast. And then I prided myself on going, how many things can I do where it's just one take and one take and just do it and just be better than that.
I remember, like, my first YouTube video was like take after take after take, and I'd write everything down, and like I'd just get worse and worse. But now you put a camera in front of me, I can do it in one take.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you don't overthink it. You just gotta be natural at it.
And what I love too, so like, and I love your stories, But you know, when I was coming and you go, fuck, man, let's just fucking shoot, but let's shoot.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And
Yeah.
I'm going, fuck, I gotta fucking get my fucking game up here. Because I love that. I love it when someone's going, let's just do this.
And you know what? It's like, don't miss out on any opportunities.
Yeah.
If you see Chris Bumstead,
Yeah.
and like, oh, shall I ask for? Just fucking ask for a picture. The worst you can say is no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like even when you said go up to Vigorous Steve.
Yeah.
Man, I went up to him, but it was good that like, you know, you're there, you're getting more confidence.
Just do it.
And it is how I look at it, right? I go, fuck, this is a pivotal point now for us to go, fuck, every time Mets comes, we're going to go fucking go for it. Because I know when he's coming down. And this is the first shoot, because obviously I've seen you 2 years ago with a videographer. And you're doing
so when I found out you were coming on, you've leveled up your social media, I thought, you know, let's make some videos. You got a camera guy, you know, I've brought my stuff. Let's just shoot as much content as possible.
Love it, bro.
You know, and like, don't miss out on opportunities. I was in Dubai last month, and I was with Sean Ray, Kai Green, Mike Ahern, and these are big names. You know what I mean? And after we met, Mike Ahern started following me on Instagram, which I thought was crazy. I thought, okay, let's follow me on Instagram. So I dropped a message and said, Mike, do you fancy having a session? Yeah. He's got 4 million followers. He's not going to fucking answer. He goes, bro, I'm really busy in Dubai, but if you ever come to LA, let's grab a session. I thought, he answered me back within 2 minutes. I thought that's pretty cool. So when I arrived at LA last week, I said, I'm in LA. He goes, let's train. Let's do legs Tuesday. Let's see at the gym. I thought, fucking hell, it's cool. How cool is that? You know what I mean? He doesn't know me from Adam.
Man, I love Miko. And like when I seen that, I go, fuck, size with him. I go, how fucking awesome.
And if I didn't drop him that message, I wouldn't have known. I would have kicked myself for not asking him. Do you know what I mean? I thought, so I'm just going to ask him. The worst he can say is no. And like he filmed for his YouTube. You know, he had 2 cameras there. I filmed mine. So he got a lot
Let's
of
do this tomorrow. We're going to be at the expo.
Yeah.
Let's go on the new tech stand. I want to introduce you. Hopefully the guys are there.
I'll introduce you to Mike as well.
No, I'd be love to.
Yeah.
Man, I've loved Mike Ahern.
We'll do a little interview with Mike tomorrow.
Man, I love that, bro. Fucking oath. We'll go on the new tech. We'll do that. Fuck, we're gonna have a mad time.
No, we'll just shoot everything.
And then Saturday we got the big Olympia
watch party.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, because it's something new, something different. It's a new sort of format they're doing.
So you're saying Andrew Jacked, yeah? Well, I mean, we talked about part 1, Andrew Jacked.
I would love Andrew Jack to win because he's a friend of mine. I've trained with him, and he's actually come to my gym a few days after the Olympia. Because you're always going to root for the people that you know, and like you sort of, you know, you can sort of bond with.
Well, what I'm looking forward to is the when it's finished. We're going to talk about the placings.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll do like a little wrap up after. Yeah, it's gonna be, you know, 60th anniversary. I mean, I've been coming here 24 years, and it's gone like that.
Yeah, it has.
And that's why
you almost want to like just cherish these moments now, especially where we're at now.
Yeah, and like I love recording this because I can like watch back in 10 years' time and thinking about the good times, because we didn't do this 20 years ago. All I've got is like pictures, you know, physical pictures, which I still look back at now, and you know, and I wish we would have the video.
You're like a historian like me, like you probably remember Larry Scott.
I remember everything.
You know, Sergio Oliva, Chris Dickerson, you know, Frank Zane, Franco Colombo, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lee Haney.
Yeah, I remember everything. I remember dates. I remember what music they posed to, where the Olympia was. Yeah.
I'll tell you his routines. I used to love Albert Bickles.
Yeah.
Fucking loved Albert Bickles. He was awesome.
One of my favourite, when I first started bodybuilding, Richie Gaspari was my favourite bodybuilder. And so obviously we used to read all the magazines, used to watch all his videos. And I actually did a podcast with him in my gym back in March, because I bumped into the Arnold Classic. And I said, Rich, I'm a huge fan. Obviously I met him before. I said, look, if you're in the UK, I'd love you to come and train at my gym. And so he texted me, he goes, oh, can I train in your gym? He goes, yeah. And then he says, do you want to do a podcast? He goes, let's do it. And that was like a surreal moment for me. Yeah. One of my bodybuilding idols.
Fuck, man.
I thought, you know what, if you don't ask, you don't get. Let's do it.
Well, fuck, that's a wrap, bro.
Yeah.
We're going to do heaps more.
Yeah.
We'll do a wrap-up of the whole weekend. We'll watch the watch party. We'll do a wrap-up of the contest, but then we'll wrap up this year.
Yeah.
Everything that we've done.
Yeah, and I was really excited about coming to this year's Olympia. Obviously, doing things with you, filming. I mean, seeing Gary, you know, Chris, because Chris wasn't here last year, was he? And
And Pete for Chicago. Well,
yeah,
let's not
Pete
forget
Chicago,
Pete from
yeah,
Chicago.
yeah.
Can we get Pete on the camera?
Let's get Pete on.
Hey,
Yeah.
Kenny, we've got to get Pete on the camera, bro.
Well, I absolutely love coming to Olympia. The vibe, everyone's happy, everyone's sort of
Yeah.
buzzing for the Olympia,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a good one. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Over there, brother. Thank you,
Over
brother.
and out. Thank you.
Mad, bro.
Thank you.
Fucking enjoyed it.